What's up, guys? I usually only do fitness content on my channel. I'm wearing Christmas outfit right now. I'm just chilling in the bed since it's Christmas here in Medellin, Colombia, and everything is closed. I'm waiting on my girl to come back, dropping off her dog since we're going out of town. And this video really is about Medellin. I see a lot of YouTube videos of Medellin all the time about the cost of living and how great it is and how much cheaper everything is. And in a sense, this is kind of true. Obviously, it's a lot less expensive than in the United States overall, but it isn't like the way that people put it. So I think there hardly are any videos out there that really, compare things as you really would if you compare lifestyle. So it's like I'm not really, very knowledgeable about the cost of rents, other than, then it's extremely difficult for an American to actually do a long-term rental that's like without a co-signer that's living here. So you actually get the good price. You can probably find unfurnished apartments for maybe 1,000 or 1,500. But more realistically, if you're an American, you probably have to fork over at least 2,000 to 2,500 for a nicer place, which is very similar to United States for maybe 6 months rental. But well, I don't really want to go in too much about the rental cost. I want to go into the everyday cost of living, like if we compare it, because yeah, of course I can go extremely cheap and go to like street foods and taco trucks and like the most regular places, but that's not what you would do at home, right? So I mean, it doesn't really make sense to compare it. So in the great areas like Poblado, which is sort of the Manhattan of Medellin, let's say, it's very much Americanized prices, and the fine dining restaurants, they're really up to par with American prices. So it's a little bit less expensive if you go to a coffee shop in the morning, get a really nice coffee and maybe a breakfast. You're still paying $10 or $15 instead of maybe 20 or 25. But it's not like you can eat every meal out and pay $5 or $10. So if I were to eat out every meal here to my standards, I'd probably pay $30 to $50 every meal, just like I would in the US. So the places that I'm going to here, whether it's dinner or lunch or breakfast, are still nice places and they cost just as much. So maybe I would do a little bit less of it if I were to live here on a regular basis. But I think the amounts that people claim you would save here is not as low as you might think. Rent, if I would permanently move here, I could definitely probably half my rent. I could find something probably for 1,500 that currently I pay 2,500 or 3,000. Yes, no doubt about it. But the regular cost of living on going out to dinners, eating, and all this stuff is very much the same as it is in the United States. I mean, obviously on vacation you do a little bit more of it, and at home, and if you live here on a regular basis, you probably do less of it. Just like you don't go out every night in the United States, but on food, I don't really think you would save a lot of money. Now, drinks in the nicer places, again, they're very much up to par. Now, if you buy like a beer, it's a lot less, and you can find local sports bars and stuff which are a lot cheaper. But let's just be real. Now we're seeking purposely to find cheap establishments. It's not what I want to do when I would move here. I really love it here. My girlfriend's here. I love all the places. I love the vibe, the environment, the culture, the people. That's what I move here for, and definitely I would save on the rent, which is a major part of the expenses. I don't disagree with that, long term. But I don't want to downgrade my lifestyle to go to places that I wouldn't normally go to save money that I wouldn't be, doing in the United States. I wouldn't be going to eat at, McDonald's or some local hole in the wall place just to save money to go out. So it's not really as cheap as you guys might think it is. So I just wanted to clear that up because I think a lot of times you get a false impression and think like this is sort of like the paradise here where everything like costs next to nothing. It's definitely not true. The high-end restaurants are just as high as the high-end restaurants in the United States. And the nicer places in the tourist safer area like Poblado are just as expensive as the United States for pretty much everything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, regular stuff like beer and wine might be a little bit cheaper, but overall, I don't see that much of a difference. Now, groceries is a little bit less, but also not significant. And the grocery stores so far, they're not up to par with the ones in the United States. I mean, at least not from what I can see. Produce sections are much more limited. Meat selections are much more limited. And the cost is not that much less. So doesn't mean I don't like it here better. I love the place. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the food. I love the freshness of the food. I love the variety of the places, the different types of food, the quality of the food, the freshness, the way it's made. It's worth the money, it's worth the service, much more than it is in the United States. But it's not significantly less on a regular basis. If you really one for one replace your lifestyle, you have some significant savings. If you find long-term rental, you get more money for the type of place, because the place is going to be nicer, it's going to be bigger, it's going to have 24-hour security, it's most likely going to have a gym, sauna, all kinds of other stuff, pool. So these kind of things definitely make a big difference. The rent, I can definitely agree with if you do your research and find something. But everything else, for a standard of someone that lives a higher standard in the United States, would have to significantly downgrade your lifestyle standards in order to save money. Where you can still get better quality food and fresh coffee and croissants and bread and eggs and all kinds of local foods that will be delicious and a lot less expensive. But what simply comparing what you would normally do in the United States to maintain your lifestyle, to do it here, you would not significantly save money. So if you think you can live here for like $1,000 or $2,000 a month and live really good, then you're like wrong. If I were to move here, besides my apartment, which probably would be only $1,500 a month versus currently paying $3,000, I would probably still spend another $2,000 or $3,000 on going out and doing other stuff, which is very similar to the United States. I wouldn't save on this at all. So the only thing I would really save on long term would probably be the rent, which is significant. But I just want to make it clear that if you want to live here in a nicer area and you want to enjoy everyday things that you do enjoy in the United States, or you want to do more of it here, then be prepared to spend prime dollar, because it isn't the way people make it out to be. And I thought it was really important to make a video like this, because this Medellin has always like been put in this like, oh, this is just the paradise of all the beautiful women, everything is super cheap, and it's just not. And you really have to go out of your way if you want to be extremely cheap, and then I wouldn't have the quality of life that I'm normally accustomed to. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up. I'm not a passport bro. I don't care about working girls. I don't care about all of this stuff. So I don't want to provide any insight in that. This is not what I care about here. I deal with local people. I have a girlfriend that lives here, and I'm not interested in the passport bro thing. I don't come here for that. I just love the country. I love the people. I love the food, and I love the environment. It's still close to the U.S. and the surroundings, the everyday things I can do, the healthy living, the mountains, everything makes it worth where I would consider eventually moving here, besides the cost of living when it comes to the rent. But I just wanted to make sure that everything else is not the way people are putting it. It is very expensive here to live a high-end lifestyle to where it's very similar than the United States. Can you really save money if you go out of your way to find local places? Absolutely. But if you want to have the nicest things, the nicest places, be prepared to pay top dollar for it, especially in this area. There are some outskirt areas that are a lot cheaper, which have local restaurants, which also not going to be as fancy. Just like in the United States, you live an hour away from the city, you can find cheaper places as well. So it's the capital of, here in the area of Medellin, where it's the nicer areas, and you pay top dollar for it. So don't be surprised if you come out here and you think you're going to save money when you're not. So until next time, take care.